I think we will have a better year than last year, but most of the bookings will be last minute in Greece. It's getting better in the Bahamas, Patrick is telling us. Arwana from Germany is typing something and will probably have something interesting for us. Okay, so of people that are here, how many of you have your own direct booking website? Please write in the chat and let us know if you have a direct booking website. And you can also just type the whole link so we can go and have a quick look and see, how your place is and where it is and how your website looks. And maybe we can use these as examples to talk about reviews and how reviews can help actual direct bookings. Okay, so Parwane manages properties in Greece. Cool. Does any one of you here have a website, a direct booking website that you use to accept direct bookings? No. Okay. Just write us in the chat which websites, which listing sites you receive your bookings from. Is it Airbnb? Is it Booking.com? Is it Vrbo? Which are the sites you get your most of your bookings from? Okay, Parwane is getting bookings from his own websites. Iris is telling us Airbnb, Vrbo, and Booking. Parwane also Airbnb and Booking. Okay, cool. So, thank you all for being here. As we already mentioned, today's topic is about reviews and how reviews can help you increase your direct bookings. You all know that increasing your direct bookings is the #1 way to increase your profits because you don't have to pay for fees and other, the fees for to channels that are, third-party channels like Airbnb and Booking and Vrbo, which is very important. Christophe Salmon is with us from Revyoos. Revyoos is the only application and service that I have seen that can help you leverage the power of your reviews from your listing sites on your own. So let's say you have properties on Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com. You're getting bookings from all those sites. You're getting reviews on all those sites, but those reviews do not belong to you. They belong to Airbnb and they belong to Vrbo. However, Christophe has come up with an amazing idea how to make those reviews belong to you again. So you regain control of your reviews. And it's a very important thing if you're serious about your business and you want to grow and you want to increase your revenue and your bookings and your direct bookings especially. So with that, I'll just give the helm to Christophe to introduce himself and tell you a few things about what he's built.
Sure. I'm going to share my screen and start with the presentation. So first of all, thanks Alex for organizing this webinar, and a big thank you for all the attendees that join online and all the other attendees that will join the replay. We know that time is our very most valuable asset, so we are really going to make the most to try to make the most out of your time and the most out of your reviews. So before starting, just a small introduction on what's in it for you in this presentation. So what we are going to see is on one side stats and data showing the power of your reviews, and also mainly practical tips you can easily implement in your business to increase your number of reviews, general star ratings, SEO and direct traffic, and generally speaking, direct bookings. What's not in it in this presentation is how to improve the general experience of your guests. Improving the general experience of guests is definitely what will improve the general star rating, but this is something very specific to the type of rentals you have, depending if you are luxury rentals, beach rentals, urban, etc. This will depend a lot what you have to do to improve the general experience. But all the tips we are going to see can apply to any kind of rentals. So whatever kind of rentals you have, you will be able to easily implement those tips. What's not in it either is how to go from 0 to 100% direct bookings from one day to another. We still haven't found the magic wand to go from 0 to 100%. But what I can really tell you and guarantee you that with consistency, with a little work, and over the time, all the tips we're going to see really work. So really take time to implement them in your business. Just a few words about me, why I'm talking about this, and what is my own experience on that. I've been working in digital marketing since 2000. I started in our industry, in the short-term rental industry, in 2005 first with my 2 own apartments on the beach side in Spain. I still manage and still own them. In 2016, I started as a property manager, and now we manage 40 apartments and villa on the Spanish Costa Blanca. And also co-founder and CEO at Revyoos.com, the only all-in-one review aggregator. We started in 2019 and launched in June last year. And generally speaking, passionate about short-term rental and digital marketing. If we are not connected on LinkedIn, do not hesitate to search for me. I will be very, very happy to be connected. Just also a few words to show you about my property management company, what we have achieved so far. So we are a super host on Airbnb, a premier host on Revyoos. Premier host is less well known as Superhost, but it's very similar. And I can guarantee you that it's not very easy to get to become Superhost or premier host with 40 properties, because you can't be Superhost for half of your properties and not Superhost for the other half. It's over all your accounts, so it's really the general star rating and your general response rate over all your properties. 9.5 star rating on Booking. And this is our Revyoos.com star rating, which is the aggregation of absolutely all our reviews from all our properties for 474. In terms of bookings, just to show you also quickly the distribution of the channels where our bookings come from. And our direct booking, between our direct booking website and repeated guests, we are almost reaching 40% of direct bookings. And the other ones you can see, Booking, Spain Holiday, which is a Spanish OTA, which works pretty well in my zone, better than Airbnb, Revyoos, and TripAdvisor, very, very limited. So it took us like between 2 and 3 years to pass from 0 direct booking when we started in 2016 to become our first our main channel, main direct booking channel. And now every year when we go increasing this percentage, and that's why mainly what I wanted to show you with this information is we are really going to speak from experience. It's not only stats and impressions, but really tips that we've been working on in our own business. Alex is also a property owner, so also he can really speak from his own experience. And I think it's important to mention this. So let's start with the impact of reviews and general information about the psychology of reviews. Why reviews work so well? There is this book, maybe you already know because it's really like a Bible in the marketing world, which is called Influence. A book wrote by Dr. Robert Cialdini, a psychologist. And he wrote this book 30 years ago, the first version. So it was even before the existence of online reviews. But he mentions the 6 principles of influence. of the 6 principles of persuasions, and one of the principles of persuasion he speaks about is social proof, and reviews are definitely social proof. And what does social proof? At the end, when a consumer doesn't really know what to do, they observe what other people do, and at the end they will do what the majority of other people do. So the idea of a social proof is that someone can be persuaded into trying a product or service simply because they've seen positive reviews. On the other side, why consumers leave reviews, and once again, from the psychological point of view, the fact that knowing their review has the power to influence decision of others can be a form of empowerment. They feel important, and knowing that their voice has an impact on others. So once again, we come back to the influencing word and the empowerment word. We'll speak a bit more about empowerment later on. So we all know that reviews are really a key decision factor, but let's look to some stats around that. 94% of shoppers read reviews before making a purchase, so absolutely the very vast majority. Consumers require an average of 40 reviews before believing the business star rating is accurate. So it means that quantity matters. It's useless at the end to publish on our own website only a few 2 or 3 5-star reviews. It doesn't bring much credibility. They need to see a volume. They won't read all of them. In average, in another stat, they say that they would read around 10 reviews. But the fact to see that there is a large amount of reviews give credibility. 72% of consumers don't take action until they have read reviews. So reviews are absolutely key for the call to action. 77% of users don't trust reviews older than 3 months. So another key factor is the recency. How recent are the reviews? Guests will pay 35% more in a hotel with a 4.4 rating versus 3.9. So it also has an impact to the price, how we can price our rentals. And 70% consumers look at multiple review sites when choosing a business. So it also shows that having the ability to display your reviews from different sources have a stronger impact than only showing your own reviews. Bright Local makes every year a very strong survey about reviews, and in this summary we can see which factors consumers care more about, and this was last year in 2020. So by order of priority, the overall star rating is the first factor. Legitimacy, how real reviews seem. So we all know that there are a lot of fake reviews. So the fact to be able to display legitimate reviews is very, very important. Recency, we saw it earlier. Sentiment is what is the general feeling of the review, positive or negative. Quantity of reviews, if you respond to the reviews, if you are present on multiple review sites, the length of detail, and if the review includes photos or not. So about those 9 factors, what is interesting that you can directly make actions to improve your star rating, or to give legitimacy to your reviews, to have more recent reviews, to have a larger amount of reviews, obviously if you respond to the reviews or not, and also if you are on multiple review sites or not. Sentiment, length of details, and the photos is on your customer side, so you can't do anything on this. But all the tips we are going to see, the 14 tips we are going to see later on, are really based on those six factors. And I wanted to insist on legitimacy, how real reviews seem, because this is really an absolutely key factor. And something interesting to check is Bright Local, as I told you, make this survey every year. So in 2020, this is the second most important factor, and in 2019 it was only the 4th factor. So I don't know if we can really relate this to the new situation with COVID or not, but really it doesn't really matter. But just keep in mind that legitimacy is an absolutely key factor, and our potential guest will pay a lot of attention regarding if the reviews they're reading are legitimate, are verified reviews, come from genuine sources, and not fake reviews. So let's start with the tips, with the first tips. Before starting with the first tip, we are going to see the top 3 factors for a good review, and at the end the review score and how you will get a high or low score will definitely depend on expectations versus reality. This is really how you're going to get your score. It will really depend on what they were expected to have in staying with you versus what was their real experience. And the top 3 factors to generate better expectations on one side is to clearly describe your rentals to attract the right customers. One mistake I would say we generally make usually at the beginning is to try to attract all 100% of the consumers, saying that all the bookings, any booking that come in is a good booking, but really it's not the truth. It's always better to target, to know really what kind of what is your persona, or what we call in marketing the persona or your target. You really have to be clear. On our site, for example, we have two persona: families in summer and retired in low season for long stay in low season. This is really our two main persona, and we don't want to attract a young group of people that want to party. We don't want to attract business stays. Or stays for just a weekend. We really want to focus on summer stays for families in summer, and long stays, monthly stays for retired in low season. So once you have really clear who you want to attract, you have to really describe correctly who you want to attract and speak to those people, because at the end, if you attract the wrong customer, it will also probably lead to bad experience and to bad review. The second thing would be to under-promise and over-deliver. At the end, this is also very personal how you can over-deliver. It can be maybe through a welcome pack, through amenities, through personal communication. It is what you have to do, depending on your business, how you can over-deliver, but it's important to bring this little plus that will make the difference respect to your competition, and the wow effect when they arrive in the rental. And the third point would be to have a great communication all along the customer journey, and not only when they booked, but really until the end. And the end is not when they check out. The end is until the review. So here it's important to try to automate most of your communication. On our side, we have 7 different emails from the moment they book until we invite them to leave the review. Seven automated emails we send to all along the customer journey, and we know that it's quite key in terms of the experience they have before arriving. Meanwhile, they are with us, and once they leave. So let's start with the first tips. So we are going to go from very easy to more complicated, and the first one is an absolutely easy one, and I'm sure most of you already do this, but I was surprised to see that many property managers or owners didn't do all the time, which is to proactively ask for reviews. And the reason is if you don't do this, stats show how only 22% of travelers will write a review without having been asked, so very, very little at the end. But a massive 76% of consumers will leave a review if they're asked to. So 76 is maybe challenging on our side. We are not in this percentage, so maybe we can still fine tune, let's say, our communication, but we are more into between 65 or 65%. So, but it's still a very high percentage, and this is something at the end, at the beginning, we didn't really proactively push for asking for reviews. This is more something we are doing in the past 2 years, and also if they didn't do it at the first time, do not hesitate to send a reminder. And the other reason to proactively ask for reviews is the fact that customers who have had a bad experience are 2 to 3 times more likely to write an angry review than customers who had a great experience are to post a happy review. So it means that basically by stats, if you don't push all your guests to leave a review, the proportion of possible bad reviews will be higher than good reviews. The second tip would be to make A/B testings in your review request emails and increase the conversion. So for those of you that maybe are not familiar with the A/B testing in marketing, it's just mainly making several versions of the same several versions of an email and see the one that has a better conversion. If you are already around 50-60% response, but maybe not, you don't maybe have to do too much. But if you are far below, it's the occasion to rethink how you make your review request. And I wanted to share our own review request. It's probably not, it will be maybe not be good for every kind of business, because there is also a part, for example, the tone of voice is something very personal and depend on any kind of business. On our side, we have a very, let's say, friendly tone of voice, which is good for our customers. But for business rentals, for example, it wouldn't fit, I think, at all. So the first thing is always, even if your emails are automated, always automate also to get the first name and call them by their name. So here, not much to say apart from the tone of voice. I hope I find you well, and coming back to real life wasn't too hard. Here, the first tip would be to use questions. This doesn't look much, but there's also many marketing studies around this, showing how asking for a question in the content of your emails and mainly in the subject increase the response rate, because they feel like more engaged. So do not hesitate to ask a question in your subjects, in your email subjects, and also in the content of your emails. So could I ask you for a small favor? Potential guests always enjoy reading reviews from past guests to organize their holidays. Your opinion is important for us and for future guests. So here what we do is to call back to what we saw earlier, is the empowerment. In this case, we insist to the fact that really their opinion and their review is important, and not only for us, but for also our guests. So if you could write a quick review on booking portal name, so make it easy for them, leave the direct link, it would be amazing. A big thank you in advance, and for your next stay, do not hesitate to book directly with us. So here, always use your communication to invite for direct bookings. It's always good to insist on this, and also insist on what they are going to save. You will save between 10 and 15% additional fees on Booking.com, Airbnb, HomeAway, and so on. And we will add.
Sorry to interrupt for a second. I'm guessing you can send these templates later to our attendees.
Yeah, sure.
Write everything down, right?
Sure, no problem. Absolutely. Yeah. And we will add you an extra 5% discount as a customer. So really, you give them real reasons to come back with you and to book directly with you. with this information. And if you are a property manager with more rentals, do not hesitate also to remind them you don't only manage the property where they stay, but also other properties and link to it. Third tip to increase the review rating is to detect possible issues proactively and resolve them on time. So this one basically, the idea is to send is everything okay email to all your guests the day after. Maybe you already do this, and if you don't, I really invite you to do so. Most of your guests will tell you if there is something wrong, but there is a small percentage of guests that won't, because it's a small issue and it doesn't really matter. But at the end, you will discover, you will think that everything was perfect, but you will discover a lower, not a 5-star review. For example, it happened it was an espresso coffee machine that didn't work properly, and the review was all was perfect, but the Nespresso machine didn't work, and at the end they just left a 4-star review only for this. While we could, if we had known about this, we would obviously have given them another Nespresso machine. So it's just an example, but just to tell you that at the end the small details make the difference. So it's always better to try to have everything under control and to be proactive. Looking for possible problems. What we also do on our side, because we also, when you manage 40 properties, things happen and there is issues, and if there is bigger issue on our side, we discover this on time, what we do also is we invite them to a paella or to have a drink in one of our favorite bar in Frontline. It cost us at the end 30 or 50 euros for a rental that sometimes for a villa can be 2,000 or 3,000 euros per week. So it's really nothing, but the how do you say that, the image, the professional image you give is absolutely amazing. And at the end, from a bad experience and a possible bad review, you can easily, if you solve the problem quickly and give them a small something in return, transform at the end a potential bad review to good review and a returning guest that will come back with you. And the second tip there would be to send a how was your stay email before sending the review request. This one mainly help us to get more information on how was the stay before sending the review. The review request, and it also help us to see if we are not sure, for some reason, if they had a good stay or not. It also happened when you only manage a few properties. You usually have a better feedback of everything, but when you manage more properties, it's not always the case. So with those emails, it helps us to get more details on how was the experience. If there is something we could have done better, and at the end, if you see that the experience was not so good, you can always decide not to send the review request or to send it, but knowing that it will maybe not be a 5-star review. Tip number 4 to increase the review rating: do not request reviews immediately after the stay. So this one is absolutely not. It's absolutely counterintuitive, I would say, because we usually. I think most of us would have feel like to ask for the review immediately after the stay. But the University of East Anglia make very deep survey or analysis about that, analyzing 215,000 reviews from TripAdvisor and Booking.com. And they found that the length of time between end of stay and posting a review affected the rating given. So the reason is mainly because the sooner the customer posts the review, they zoom in on their experience with every concrete aspect, even the small details and the most negative aspects. And when the time increases, reviewers zoom out and they feel like they have a more positive overview of their stay. And this one won't make a very massive difference, but at the end, if you can increase a few stars, or not full stars, but tenths of stars or part of stars, thanks to this, it will be always better, knowing at the end that to become a super host, the difference is from 4.7 to 4.8. If you go down to port font 4.8, you're no more a super host. So at the end, everything helps for that. Let's go on with increasing review rating, which would be to analyze all your bad reviews at once and detect possible patterns to improve in your business and take action. So this one also is more thought for big property managers. When you manage a few properties, you usually have everything really under control, all your reviews and so on. But when you manage dozens or hundreds of properties, it's like it's becoming more difficult. So having the ability, and for example, here a review aggregator would help you to see at the same time all your bad reviews. It's a good way to detect patterns and improve them. So this tip is more on the long run. At the end, it's not as direct and as quick as the one we saw earlier, but it's also important on the long run to make sure you take conclusions and take actions of your bad reviews. Okay, so that was what we had for this first point of impact on reviews. We're going to go on with trust and credibility. So with the presentation now, I can't absolutely see the chat. So if there is questions and so on, we will.
Yeah, Christophe, there are some questions in the chat room. I could just read them out for you, and you can reply. So Damien is asking, Christophe, sorry if I've missed this, but did you ask your previous guests to leave reviews on different platforms, like the OTAs, Trustpilot, Google website, or just one?
No. Well, I mean, on our side, we ask them to leave a review where they booked. I mean, we don't send different links, because at the end, the more complex you make, the lower response rate you will have. So it's better at the end to ask them to leave a review from the where they made the booking, and then get this review with a review widget and display this review on your website. But I would I think sending several links. Is it Damien what you're referring to? If it's the case, asking several links, I wouldn't recommend it, because I think at the end, the more complex you make the process, the lower response rate you would get.
And also, I'm guessing, because if he leaves a review on the site that he did the booking on, then he's a validated and authenticated user. So the review has more value.
Absolutely. Also, so it's better to have this review on the original website, and then through a review widget display this review, as you will get both impact. One impact on the OTA, and another impact on your own website.
Kelly is asking if you have a specific number of days that you propose as the best period between checkout and when you send the email to us.
Yeah. I forgot to say about that. According to my experience, we have also to find a balance between not too early but not too late, of course. And I would say between around 1 week. The how was your stay email? The one I told before, the review request. This one we send it 2 days after. 2 days after checkout. But after the review request, we send it 1 week after. One week after the stay.
So would you like to continue with the presentation now, or maybe I could talk for 5 minutes to say a few things about our website builder, and then you can continue with the reviews, whatever you think is best.
Okay, if you want.
Okay, let me take over for 5 minutes then, and let Christophe take a breather. And let me share my screen. Maria, can you help me?
Maybe I have to stop to share my screen. Yeah.
Okay. And now, if I click here, start construction whiteboard player.
You have to press on the plus button on the top.
No. You know what? Just continue until I figure it out, and then we'll take over.
Okay. Do you see my screen back?
It's loading. It should take a second.
Is it okay?
For me, it's still loading, but maybe for the other guys, it's already loaded. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I think now maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we can see it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. So yeah, let's go on with trust and credibility. Here we go. Yeah. So regarding trust. So an obvious conclusion from Bright Local again, including reviews on your website makes searchers see your business as more trustworthy, and 79% trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. So here there is an asterisk because we have to insist on the fact that when we are talking about verified reviews, this is really a key point. And we are going to see it in this next section, the fact that 80% of consumers question the authenticity of reviews. So from last year, Bright Local, did you see? Do you think you read the fake reviews last year? Yes, multiple 45%. Yes, at least one 36%. So this really shows how. We really need to give authenticity of our reviews on our own website, showing just a few 5-star reviews with no more information where the review come from, and if it's a verified, genuine review, really doesn't do much. There is so many fake reviews on the internet and all the consumers in any kind of business, not only on short-term rental, but in any kind of business. Everybody knows that, so it's really so important to show the authenticity of reviews. And another interesting thing, as property manager, and it was my case until not so long, we all obviously work to give the best experience ever and to get as much 5-star review as possible. But on the other hand, many studies show how only 5-star reviews is too good to be true. So here, 68% of consumers trust reviews more when they see both good and bad scores, and the shopper is more likely to purchase the product with an average of star rating between 4.2 and 4.5 instead of a full round 5-star rating. So basically, the idea is having a few bad reviews is absolutely not a drama. What it does is to give more authenticity of the absolute majority of good reviews. Obviously, if you have a majority of bad reviews, in this case, maybe it's time to think in changing business. But a few bad reviews and the majority of good reviews is not such a problem. Source of reviews matters. Purchase likelihood increase 15% when consumers are exposed to reviews written by verified buyers versus anonymous. And the multiple source effect makes the use of review section particularly effective. People give more authenticity to authority to ideas that are stated by a number of sources. So this is related to what we saw earlier in the stats that 70% of consumers, generally speaking, search for multiple review sites. And at the end, if you display only your own reviews on your own website versus displaying all your reviews from absolutely all the sources, verified reviews from different OTAs, it will definitely give much more authenticity and authority than just your own reviews. So let's go with the tips to increase trust and credibility. So the first one is to obviously include verified reviews and social proofs on your website from multiple trustworthy sources. Second one, do not censor or moderate bad reviews. What we saw earlier, they give more authenticity to your good reviews. But on the other side, don't leave a bad review without anything. Respond to your reviews, and this is not only for bad reviews. We should, and I say we should because this is also in my to-do list. Because on our side, we for the moment only respond to the bad reviews, but really to give a very better professionalism and trust and credibility. Responding to every single review is a very trust generator. So this is something I invite you to do, and I invite me also to do. 45% of consumers say they're more likely to visit a business that responds to negative reviews. Statistics show that of the customer who received a response from a company after posting a negative review, 33% turned around and posted a positive review, while 34% deleted the original negative review. So very, very important to know that. And also in SEO side, we will see more about SEO later on. But Google confirms that responding to reviews improves your local SEO. So at the end, not only does responding to reviews build your trust with customers, but it also builds trust with the search engine themselves. So how to respond to a bad review? So this one is interesting because at the end...
This is a hot question.
Yeah.
Very hot question.
Yeah. So let's go with the 7-step tip on how to respond to bad review. The first thing is to breathe and take time before responding, but don't leave it. Usually, it's never good. We never receive a good bad review positively, because at the end we feel attacked, and sometimes bad reviews are not. We feel they are unfair. It also happened to us last year. For example, we got a 3-star review, and the comment was, the apartment is amazing, the service provided absolutely crazy, all absolutely amazing. The only thing, the only pity is the apartment has no air conditioning. And I mean, on our website, we absolutely describe in detail what the apartment has and what it hasn't. So in this case, we really feel that it's an unfair review to get 3-star only because there is no aircon, while it's really specified in the listing. But I mean, those things happen, and at the end, the first thing you think is to respond not in a very good way, but this is absolutely not what we have to do. So. Don't take time and don't leave it, because I also insist on don't leave it, because at the end, for this precise review earlier, I told you with the aircon, at the end I didn't do it in the moment, and at the end it was too late to respond. And in Airbnb, I think it's we have 8 days, or I don't remember, to respond. So I mean, we are human, so all we make. Small errors, so absolutely don't leave it until it's too late. The second point is to show empathy, saying thank you and apologize. So it's not necessarily to apologize for something wrong, because in that case I wouldn't have apologized for something that wasn't wrong, but apologize to the fact that maybe they didn't have such a great experience as you would have expected, or as all your other guests have. But anyway, take responsibility. If this was something in your hands, take responsibility with what happened, and show the actions you've taken. No, it doesn't serve absolutely to make excuses or to explain what has happened. They really don't care what was the problem, why it happened. But yes, they will be happy to see that you took actions after this review and after their experience. Also reinforce your company standard values. For example, if the bad review was related to something about cleanliness, about cleaning, but not perfect cleaning, insist on the fact that cleaning is an absolute priority, and you've taken whatever actions to improve your processes. Always respond in a very personal way, no copy paste. I think as consumers, all of us always hate to receive a copy paste message, because a copy paste message always smell at copy paste. So really make personal responses, and ask for a second chance, and invite them to come back, and try to keep it as short as possible, and take the matter offline, inviting them to contact directly. And a final bonus track, always keep in mind who is going to read your response. Your guest, the guest that wrote the review, will read one time your response, but your response will be read by dozens or hundreds of future potential guests. So at the end, always think in your potential guests, not only in this guest, and to give a really professional image for your future potential guest. And also think that a few bad reviews, as we saw earlier, do nothing than give more credibility to all your good reviews. Alex, I don't know if you want to add something like this as property owner.
The most important thing from what I've read here is certainly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So for sure, regarding the how to respond to bad review, the number one thing is just take your time. Don't answer right away. Just wait a day or two. Just collect your thoughts and reply as focused and as calmly as you can. It's very important. So do you have other tips for us to reach until number 14?
Yeah, we are going to go on with the SEO site blog. So maybe we can make a small pause, and if there's any question.
So you just keep the presentation open, and I will use you as my hands and mouse in order to show some things that I'd like. So first of all, I'd like to ask all our attendees here, how many of you would like to have their own direct booking website? So just type in the chat and let us know if you already have a direct booking website, or if you want to build one, if you would like to have one. And even if you think it's difficult, if you think it's easy, would you like to have a direct booking website? If by some magical way you could just do this and it was ready, would you like to have one? And those of you that wouldn't want to have one, just tell us a few words why you don't want to have a direct booking website. And I will show you something very interesting after we get the first few results coming in through the chat. So Simon would like, Damien has one, very important. Marwan, we already have a direct booking website. Patrick would like to have one. So what we've done is, and I'm not sure if everyone here knows that, it's not that difficult to build your own direct booking website, by the way. So what we did is we built a guide that takes you step by step through the process to build your own direct booking website as if you were creating an account in Airbnb. So if you can create your own account in Airbnb and upload listings and photos and all that stuff, you can also create your own direct booking website. You'll be amazed at how easy it is. So Christophe, can you please open a browser window and go to Google and search for the following keywords?
Yeah.
So search for build direct booking website.
There you go.
So the first link you get on Google is the guide that will show you there's 13 steps to the process, and you can scroll a little bit slowly downwards to show the list of the steps to our attendees. And you will see that it's a very easy 13-step process to creating your own website. So you just have to buy your domain name, you get a WordPress managed hosting, you select a theme and a booking plugin, and then it's just point and click. And if you have some time to invest, it will not take you more than 8 hours in total. So you can break that into 2 afternoons, for example. And in 2 afternoons, you can have your own fully operational direct booking website that accepts credit cards as a payment, and the money from your guests will be inside your bank account on the next day. It sounds amazing. It sounds too good to be true. Believe me, it's easier than you're afraid of. So just go to Google and search build direct booking website, and you will get the guide. So Christophe will now show you a website that was built using this specific guide. Christophe, if you can go to ampelosestate.com. So this website was built in 2 afternoons using the guide that you just read. The guide is free. It's free for everyone. You can just follow it. The only thing you have to pay is your domain name, the WordPress hosting, which is like $5 a month, and then the theme that you will use, which is, I think it says $50 or $60 one-off. You just pay that once and never again. And Christophe, you can just click on one of the properties, and let's try to make a sample booking to show our attendees how easy it is. Just scroll downwards after the photos. There's the booking engine, where you just select the dates and how many people you want to stay, and you just select check-in and check-out date, and then how many adults, and then you click search.
Maybe
try the 4-bedroom villa from the top of the menu.
This one?
Yeah, try the 4-bedroom villa. Yeah. And you will see, as you select, if you go to the next month, you will see some dates that are red. These dates are red because this specific website synchronizes with all the other websites, Airbnb booking through Syncbnb, so that you never get a double booking. So it's also compatible with Syncbnb, so that you can use it for the other websites. So it gives you a quote for the villa, for the dates that you selected. If you click book now, you will be asked to give your booking details, your name, and then you can add your credit card, and the booking is completed. So this is a fully functional direct booking website you can build on your own. Just Google build direct booking website to find the guide that has all the steps. So another important thing to notice, if you look at the bottom left, you will see the Revyoos plugin that shows us the average review score from all the listing sites that this specific website is listed on. So this is a property that's on Airbnb, it's on Booking, it's on Vrbo, it's on Expedia, and you will see all those reviews live here on this website. So this is the power of Revyoos. Without Revyoos.com, without the software that Christophe and his team have built, this property would not be able to show to its guests what very great reviews it's been having from all those listing sites. And this is what Christophe's software makes possible. So I just wanted to give a quick preview of that here, and I'll let Christophe continue the rest of his presentation.
Great, thanks, Alex. So is there any question in the chat regarding the website or the trust and credibility or everything we've seen so far? Alex?
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Christophe.
Yeah. I said that. Is there any unanswered question on the chat?
I was just checking the chat now to see. Guys, if you have any questions for Christophe, please shoot in the chat. Just write it down, and he will be happy to answer.
For me or for you.
It's better to have interaction. So instead of having Christophe just bombarding with information, it's good to have some back and forth and make it easier to comprehend.
Well, if there's nothing, I go on with
I think
SEO.
you go on, Christophe.
Yeah, maybe the SEO part will raise some questions. So SEO, well, I suppose most of you are familiar with SEO, which is the how to rank better on Google and other search engines. And experts believe that online reviews make up over 13% of how Google and other search engines rank local search results. And the review stars definitely work to drive attention. A study showed that it can boost the click-through rate by as much as 35% on Google. So technically, when we talk about showing the star rating on Google, we are talking about rich snippets. And the rich snippet is nothing different than the ability to display your star rating, average rating, and number of reviews. And the rich snippets are used on your website to tell Google that the content featured is review based. So this is a really important feature. Not on all websites have this feature. And here also a review widget like ours would help you to display your star rating. And the impact at the end on what we said, the click-through rate is very, very important. Bright Local, again, we spoke earlier, made a study to show what is the impact on the click-through rate depending on the star rating. So obviously, with the highest star rating, you will get higher click-through rate. So here we are going to see some tips, very interesting tips, and those ones are really it's not on the short term because you probably know that SEO takes time, but it's really possible to be on the first results, as we saw earlier with searching for how to build a website. Alex and their team has succeeded to be on the first result, and it's also possible for you to do the same, especially for your own review site. At the end, when a potential guest will see you on OTAs, and here I invite you to massively communicate in OTAs about your brand or your property name, so they can, so the potential guest can easily Google it and find you. And most of the time, they will not search only for your company name or your property name, but your company name or property name plus reviews. And if you didn't do anything especially for that, the probability that you do not appear in the first results is pretty high. And I'm going to make to show you, for example, and it's not a matter of size, because even it also happens for big property managers. Novasol Reviews. Novasol, I think they have like 25,000 properties. And when you search for reviews, Trustpilot, not mainly pretty good reviews. Trustpilot, TripAdvisor. Here, Novasol, they appear in the 6th or 7th position. Sykes, for example, another one. Sykes Cottages Review. I don't remember how many properties they have, but they manage several dozens of thousand properties. I think they are part of the very biggest property managers. Trustpilot, Revyoos.io 1.2. So here they appear, but with no rich snippets, so it doesn't invite too much to visit. And well, another one, let's say Vacasa, another very big one, Trustpilot. Well, they appear on the second result, but there is no information related to reviews. So someone who is searching for reviews, they are not going to go on their website because they are searching for reviews. So they will go to Trustpilot or search for other results with with reviews. So and this is something really easy to do at the end. It takes also time to be ranked, but in our case.
Christophe, can I interrupt you to ask a question?
Sure.
So could your plugin be used to create this structured data? So if someone searches Ambelos Estate reviews, then my own website comes up with the review score below.
Yes, if in this case you will need to. We have two widgets. One more simple widget, which is the expandable widget, which is the one we saw earlier. But the embed widget is the one that allows you to show your star rating. So this is, for example, my property management company, and the widget is what allows us to show the star rating, and the embed reviews are here. Embed reviews mean it's within the content of your website. Google has to be able to see that the reviews appear within your content, and you need to use the embed.
Is it more difficult to use the embed option than the plugin? The pop-up?
No, it's the same. I will show you later on your website to implement it. So really here the steps to follow. First, I invite you to search for your company or your property name plus reviews and see how you rank. And even if you rank, the probability if you didn't do anything is that OTAs or Trustpilot will appear in the first page. But even if you appear in the first rankings, but you don't have anything related to reviews, I really invite you to create a SEO review optimized page. So it's your property, your management company, or your property name / reviews. Optimize. Well, this is the, let's say, most technical. It's not very complicated, but if you start from scratch with this, maybe you will need some help, but this is really what you have to do to optimize the meta title and the meta description. Optimize the H1. The H1 is the main title of your web page. We have Damian in the attendees. Damian is from the Book Direct show. He could tells us a lot more about myself about this. And optimize the content, add content related to reviews, and you can be sure that with time, and really it takes time. It can take several months until you see the result. But really, if you optimize your page, it will work, and you will appear on the first results. And on our case, it's really part of this page. Our review page is part of our most visited pages, and we know that most of the traffic comes from potential guests that saw our brand in OTAs, and then Google search for us, and then booked also directly with us. Yes, another tip is to keep your review page updated with current reviews. We saw earlier that I think it was 70% of potential or consumer, generally speaking, do not believe reviews with more than 3 months. So this page, you really need, if you do it manually, to have this page updated as much as possible. And if you use a review widget, it will be automatically, all the new reviews will be automatically collected, and will help your SEO. Because what we said earlier also, Google loves the new fresh content, love the new content. So if you only have a static page with reviews, but that doesn't get updated and become outdated even with the time, it won't be fully optimized, and maybe you won't keep your first place on the long run. The other tip is to include the reviews rich snippet to display your star rating, and to display your star rating not only on your properties, but for any any content of your website on your homepage, any generic page, and it leads to the next step, which is to create special long-tail SEO optimized landing pages with the rich snippets oriented to a target and person. Let me explain a bit more, because we are maybe speaking about terms that are not familiar to anyone. What will really be absolutely complicated and hard, and even I would say impossible in some cases, is to reach the first result to searches like your location plus rental. I mean, in my case, we are in Calpe in Costa Blanca. If we try to be on the first page or on the first result for Calpe rentals, short-term rentals, Calpe villas, Calpe apartments, this is absolutely almost impossible. Even in rich snippets, the competition is really too hard.
Christophe, sorry to interrupt. We're way out of time, so maybe we should speed this up a little bit.
Yeah. So the idea here is you can really optimize and reach the first result for targeted pages like winter stays. In our case, where winter stays in Calpe or pet-friendly rentals in Calpe, we are on the search on the first results, and this is something you can perfectly do yourself. And last part, the conversion. Displaying genuine verified reviews can increase conversion rates by up to 270%. So this is real data. This is not something we invented ourselves. And in hospitality, for example, 72% guests wouldn't book a rental with no reviews. 76% consumers are willing to pay more for hotel with higher review scores. And finally, the more direct booking formula is very easy. It's more trust and credibility leads to higher conversion, better SEO leads to more traffic, and at the end, higher conversion plus more traffic leads to more direct bookings. And the really final tips there is, I would say, don't believe a word of what I said. Don't believe any stats we saw earlier, but take action. I mean, everything we said and everything we've seen, until you don't see it in your own business, is absolutely nothing. So really take action, see which of those tips you do not implement in your business at the moment. And I would invite you also to try new tools as for example, Revyoos.com that can help you in some of these tips we saw so far. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Christophe. Amazing presentation. I think.
Sorry to be late. I've been extending too much.
Do you want to say a few things about where people can try out Revyoos?
Yes, well, they can just connect through Revyoos.com. We will send a link, because also thanks to Syncbnb, we have a special offer with a 2 months free trial instead of 2 weeks. So we will send the link and the details, so you can take advantage of the 2 months free trial. And basically, yeah, any question you may have on the presentation, we are going to send also the link to the presentation, the link to the template, the email template, and any additional information you may need. We are happy to provide it.
So Syncbnb and Revyoos.com, a match made in heaven. With Syncbnb, you get your own direct booking website. You can synchronize it with all your other channels, Airbnb, Booking, Expedia, TripAdvisor, so you never get double booking. With Revyoos.com, you can leverage the power of your reviews on all those listing sites and pull them and show them in your own direct booking website. So you now have full ownership and you leverage the power of your reviews. In the future, in a few months, Syncbnb customers will be able to activate a reviews account in a way that will be much faster and easier. And this is coming soon, a more direct integration between the two services. For now, there's some manual stuff that needs to be done in order to activate your reviews account, but it's very easy. It's nothing difficult. Don't worry. Try it out. I suggest you just go to Revyoos.com, open a trial, try it out. Go to Syncbnb.com, open a trial there and try us out, and we'll be available for whatever other questions you want. direct bookings is the future of vacation rentals. You need to be on that train. So thank you all for being here today. It was amazing to see you. It's been quite some time since we last had our last webinar, and I was very happy to do it again now. And I promise that we will do it more often with more useful information and things that you need to know and would love to, that can help you increase your bookings and your revenue. Christophe, thank you very much again.
No, thanks for inviting me, and thanks for all the attendees for coming.
Maria, thanks for organizing us and moderating this. And everyone will get an email with a link to download the presentation and watch it whenever they want. It's been recorded, and also links and other information from Christophe and myself. Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye,
safe,
everyone.
and
Stay
happy
safe.
bookings. May 2021 be a better year than last year. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.